Yeah, you already know it's bucket of love and reaction reviews, and we back with another one. Hey, listen, I've been hearing a lot about this Tee Grizzley situation and his auntie and all that, man. And we about to dive right into it today to see what's really going on, what really went down. Feel me? Lock in.
Nigga come to me asking me the other day to my son, nigga, what you think you made it or something, nigga? I'm like, nigga, hell yeah, I think I made it, nigga. I got some big people in my corner that's teaching me how to get some legal money. That's educating me, nigga. I made it out of having to rob and sell drugs and
Okay.
What kind of bag is that?
Okay.
It's the big one. That's all you need to know. It's the big one.
The one person who believed in him when nobody else would ended up dead on the east side of Detroit, shot 8 times while she sat in a car waiting for him to come back out. And word on the street is that Tee Grizzley is well aware of how and why she died to keep a secret hidden. But before we get into what happened, you need to understand who Jobina Brown really was, because the internet has spent years turning her into a joke or a plot twist, and she was neither one of those things.
For a minute, it looked like she just dozed off thinking. See what I'm saying?
Jobina J.B. Satish Brown was 41 years old, Tee Grizzley's aunt by marriage, and the person who paid for the beginning of his whole career before he even had one song recorded. When Tee came home from prison in October 2016 and went around asking people in his family to loan him $250 so he could get studio time and buy a beat, almost everybody told him no. He could not even get a few $100s out of the people closest to him, and then he went to his auntie. Listen to how he tells it.
I had asked a lot of people in my family for a chance, because this is what I was really trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, can y'all help buy me a beat? I really want to rap, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them just wasn't taking me serious. Like, you better go get a job, what you trying to rap for, and all this other stuff.
Right. And she believed in you.
She believed in me. She was the only one. That first day out video, she paid for the video, bought the outfit I had on in the video, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
What we playing
we've
right
been
here?
rocking ever since. She quit her job to start managing me.
JB did not just give him some money and send him on his way. She left her job to become his full-time manager in 2017, paid for the video for first day out, and bought the outfit he wore in it. From that point on, she gave her whole professional life to making sure he made it. On top of that, she was also managing other Detroit artists at the time, including Sada Baby, so she was not just hanging around because of Tee. She was a real name in the Detroit music world, somebody people trusted and looked up to. Sada Baby used to call her My Baby, and when she died, he was so broken up about it that he got her name tattooed on his face within a month of losing her. He was also the one who had to walk into that hospital and identify her body.
That's my baby.
How did you feel when she got killed?
Same way I feel now. It's fucked up.
That was sad, man.
It's past sad.
Yeah.
I had to identify a body.
Really?
Yeah, man, cause yeah, I had to.
Because you were just the first person they called? Oh, because you're related to her? No?
No, I just was the closest to kin at the hospital.
Closest to kin. Okay.
Vlad, bro.
What was that like to have to look and identify the body of someone that you seem like to have a lot of love for?
Like a movie. It's just like it is in a movie. They sit you down, give you the talk, and you just hoping they beating around the bush to tell you that, well, she gonna have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, or she gonna, you feel me, something like that. But it don't never get to that point. It just get to the, all right, she ain't make it, so we gonna take you back here to see her. Like, it was fucked up, cause she looked like her face and that shit wasn't fucked up, so. She just looked like my auntie. She looked like how I always seemed to look when she was sleeping or something. It just fucked me up. It fucked me up bad. I just asked her what she did. I asked her what she did twice. We gave her a kiss and left.
Now you know what was lost that night. Keep all of that in your head as we go through what actually happened. It was August 20th, 2019, a Tuesday evening on the east side of Detroit. Tee had just finished a studio session with Guapo and Jay Swan, and after that, he wanted to go check on his older cousin, a man who had been real close with his late father. The whole group was riding in a black Chrysler 300 through the 3600 block of 3 Mile Drive, with Tee in the front seat, JB in the back, and their driver behind the wheel. When they pulled up to the house, Tee got out and tried to get JB to come inside with him, but she had a thing about going into other people's houses. So Tee goes inside the house, the driver steps out of the car, and JB is sitting alone in the back seat when the shots start ringing out. Tee comes running outside, looks out into the street, sees no broken glass anywhere on the ground, and for a second he actually thought everybody had just pulled off when the shooting started. But then his driver called him and told him the truth about what went down. The shooter had walked up to the car and opened the door on Tee's side, trying to get to him, and JB caught 8 bullets on her left side, including near her heart and in her arm. She did not die right there at the scene. She was still alive when she called Tee from inside the ambulance, but she couldn't get any real words out for him to understand. JB passed away at the hospital that same night, and the Wayne County medical examiner confirmed she died from multiple gunshot wounds. Police said from the beginning that nothing about this attack looked random. Nothing was taken, there was no robbery, and the way the shooter moved suggested he came to that specific block looking for a specific person. Somebody planned this out ahead of time. The only question was who and why, and for more than 2 years, nobody had a real answer to give. Detroit Police Homicide Unit got on the case right away, but the leads ran dry almost immediately. A $2,500 reward was put up through Crime Stoppers of Michigan for anyone who brought in information that led to an arrest, and that reward sat there for years without producing anything solid.
Also shots fired into an SUV. The manager and family member of a popular Detroit rapper. Off the top tonight at 11, investigators trying to determine if rapper Tee Grizzley was actually the intended target.
He was with his aunt when those shots were fired on Detroit's east side. Jermont Terry is live tonight. Jermont, was the rapper hurt at all?
Kimberly, tonight we know the Detroit rapper was one of 3 people inside that car when the shots went off. Now, when they're in that, the rapper's aunt, but he was not injured. Detroit police responded to the area of 3 Mile Drive just off Mack Tuesday night on the city's east side. They were out to collect evidence of multiple bullet casings regarding the deadly here. It turns out someone opened fire on a black Chrysler with 3 people inside. Among those inside the vehicle, Detroit rapper Tee Grizzley.
Yes, we made it out of Lansing after all that happened. After Michigan State, after Hubbard, when our man's told him.
Tee Grizzley rose to fame when he released his first single, First Day Out. He was nominated for an MTV and BET Awards for the single.
The bands they took from us, Joy Road.
Police don't know if the rapper was the intended target or not, but what's clear, his aunt, who worked as his manager, along with another young man, were all in the vehicle Tuesday night. That's when someone intentionally shot the vehicle, the 41-year-old manager. We don't know if anything was stolen or if this was an attempted robbery, but police say the rapper and friends were in the area to visit someone. The investigation shows when the man stepped out of their vehicle, the first of several shots filled the air. We don't know if the rapper was still inside the car when the shots went off or not. Now, Tee Grizzley's music video has more than 130 million views. Again, the rapper was not injured, but unfortunately, his aunt passed away. Over the phone, Tee Grizzley's family members tell us that the aunt leaves behind some children. They did not want to comment further. This is an open investigation tonight. Reporting live outside DPD headquarters, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of questions still need to remain for what happened here. All right, thanks, Jermont.
In the meantime, Tee broke his silence on social media and dropped a song called Satish, which was JB's middle name, and in the lyrics, he was talking about revenge before his family pulled him back and told him to let the police deal with it. But regardless of what he said publicly, Tee was very clear about what he believed, that the shooting was meant for him, not for her. That last part is important.
Well, a new music video by Detroit rapper Tee Grizzley reveals he fears for his own life after the murder of his aunt last month. But there's talk of a bounty on the head of her killer, and it seems to promote a vicious cycle. 7 Action News reporter Rudy Harper is live tonight with the call of an activists to end the violence. Rudy, explain.
And Carolyn, there are strong emotions in this song by the Billboard artist. For the first time, he's expressing his feelings, even rapping he fears for his own life.
Me and still shot. What she do to you? We was just winning, now I'm crying at your funeral.
In his newly released video, Detroit artist Tee Grizzley shares an emotional tribute to his aunt and roadside manager who was in Detroit. Action News at the scene near 3 Mile and Mack Avenue a month ago where shots rang out.
You lost your aunt. Let's not lose another family member. Let's not lose you.
Dr. Kim Logan Nolan, a family counselor, reacting tonight to the rapper's lyrics, which seemingly encourages violence, including a bounty on the head of his aunt's.
Rudy, we want to redirect the anger, redirect the pain.
Dr. Logan Nolan says she's had firsthand experience de-escalating violence in the hip-hop community.
I had opportunity to counsel a young rapper, and he lost a loved one through fire. And I said, what would bring honor to your loved one? Let's redirect the lyrics to something positive and productive.
I got an idea of what we need to do.
While declining to speak specifically about the artist, Zeet, a local activist with New Era Detroit, says they are pushing forward to end the cycle of violence, starting with children.
The kids is the future. Everything that we do has to be directed towards the youth.
He says it starts with education, providing resources, and preventative interventions.
What are things that we can do to prevent these things and get in the minds of these people earlier on, and that's really where our attention and energy needs to be.
You can certainly feel the heartbreak and rage in those lyrics. We reached out to Tee Grizzley's team, and we have not heard back tonight. A spokesperson with Detroit Police told me a short time ago that this is an active and open investigation. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Live in Detroit, I'm Rudy Harper, 7 Action News.
Tee said his family blamed him for what happened and that he understood exactly why they felt that way. His thinking was simple. If it had been his little brother sitting in that car instead of JB, and JB was the one to walk away without a scratch, he would have blamed her too. But as you'll see, people online took that same honesty and used it to build a whole different story. For close to 2 years, the case went nowhere. Then, in 2021, detectives zeroed in on a suspect named Jermaine Whedon, a Chicago man in his mid-20s who went by Wu Thang and Wu 600 on the streets. Whedon was officially charged in October 2021 with first-degree premeditated murder and multiple gun charges. And when they brought him in for his first court appearance, he stood there in silence, so the court entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. The case against him came down to 3 pieces of evidence. The first was phone data showing Whedon's device was pinging near the 3600 block of 3 Mile Drive for about 2 hours before the shooting happened. Sitting on the same block for 2 hours before somebody gets shot is not a small thing. The second was a stolen Nissan Versa that matched what witnesses described as the getaway car, and that vehicle was connected back to Whedon. The third, and the one that really mattered, was that when police arrested Whedon in Chicago in October 2019 for a separate matter, they found a .40 caliber Glock 23 on him. And when they ran it through a national gun database called NEBAN, it matched the shell casings left at the scene where JB was killed. The gun that took JB's life was sitting in Jermaine Whedon's possession just 2 months after she died. Now here's where things start getting messy, because Whedon was not a stranger to Tee Grizzley's world. He had grown up with Buka 600, a Chicago rapper who was not just close with Tee, but was actually a groomsman at Tee's wedding in 2023. Whedon ran with the 600 gang, and Tee had moved in and around that same circle through his work with Lil Durk and other Chicago artists. The fact that the man charged with killing JB had ties to people in Tee's inner circle was not something the internet was going to let slide quietly.
JB, I love you, I miss you, but I will never forget about you. You were a queen and you were awesome.
Bushman says he's been getting calls and comments on social media from people across the country, those who've gotten to know Brown and some who are fans of Tee Grizzley. Bushman says Brown was a young woman who was committed and kind.
It was like her first time managing, but she grasped the knowledge of how to manage an artist and was running with it, and he's been very successful.
After hearing about her he shared this video of Brown in the studio with Tee Grizzley in May of 2018. She was fixing his hair, taking care of him like Bushman says she always would.
I wanted to share something for people to remember her by. When you're behind the scenes, you don't always get the credit for the things that you do, and I want people to understand who she was and what she meant to Tee Grizzley, Sada.
And as he continues to pay tribute to her, he just hopes the questions surrounding who took her life won't remain unanswered much longer.
Just want to know why. What made you do that? You know, what caused you? What was going on in your mind and in your life that you felt like you had to pull a gun out and pop?
The trial started with jury selection on July 15, 2025 in Wayne County Circuit Court, and by July 24th, the actual case was in full swing. Tee Grizzley was brought in to testify, and when prosecutors tried to ask him questions about his song lyrics, his tattoos, and his past arrests, Tee used his Fifth Amendment right and refused to answer. That moment spread all over the internet, and a lot of people took it as proof that he was hiding something. But the Fifth Amendment is a legal right that any person sitting in a murder trial with their name already in the rumor mill would be told by a lawyer to use. Whedon's lawyers came in hard with their defense. They told the court that Whedon had actually been shot himself just 2 weeks before JB was killed, and that the injuries he got from that shooting made it physically impossible for him to have done this. On top of that, they also tried to throw Tee Grizzley's name into the fire by suggesting in court that Tee was the one who ordered the whole thing, but they did not bring any actual evidence to support that claim. It was a move by the defense to create confusion and make the jury unsure about what really happened, which is something defense lawyers do all the time when the case against their client looks strong. By late July, the 12 jurors could not agree on a verdict, and the trial ended in a hung jury, meaning Whedon walked out without being found guilty. As of November 2025, no new trial date has been set, and the case is still sitting open in Wayne County Circuit Court. J.B. Brown's family is still waiting on justice, and the Crime Stoppers reward is still out there. Now, here is where the internet picked up everything from that courtroom and ran with it to a place the facts never actually went. Almost as soon as the hung jury came in, social media pages started pushing the idea that Tee Grizzley had paid somebody to kill his own aunt. The story they were selling went like this. JB was not just his aunt by marriage, she had also been in a secret relationship with him, she got pregnant with his baby, and he had her killed so nobody would find out. That version spread so fast and reached so many people that by the middle of 2025, it was showing up on major podcasts with real audiences.
I just ain't the nigga that's about to go around trying to clear no shit up because it is what it is. As far as like, you know, I ain't about to be. Certain shit you can't entertain, bro, especially when it's absolutely nonsense. You see what I'm saying? But you do got a lot of motherfuckers though that go to the internet and think that everything they see on that is facts. It's not a place for facts. You can see some shit dead in your face, chat. That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
The pregnancy part of that story is the easiest to deal with because it has already been proven wrong. The autopsy report came back and showed clearly that J.B. Brown was not pregnant when she died. Not a little bit pregnant, not early on. She was not pregnant at all. People who were close to J.B. in real life also came out and said the same thing. A person named Dogface went on camera and stated directly that she was never pregnant. The only place that pregnancy claim ever came from was Whedon's own defense lawyer, who brought it up in court to try to give the jury a reason to doubt his client's guilt. The part about a romantic relationship between T and JB is harder to say yes or no to, because outside of the people involved, nobody really knows what was going on privately.
No, you don't.
What we do know is that JB was his aunt by marriage, not by blood, so there is no family tie in the biological sense. T has publicly denied the romantic rumors and called all of it pure nonsense. What is also true is that the two of them were genuinely very close, in a way that went well beyond just work. As a teenager, he used to spend time at her house, staying over on weekends, and over time, he practically ended up living there. That closeness gave people something to talk about, but being close to someone is not the same as having a secret relationship with them. The police have not charged Tee Grizzley with anything related to JB's death, and Detroit detectives have never named him as a suspect. There is also something worth knowing here because this is not the first time something like this has happened in the music industry. Back in 1977, a woman named Tasmaya, or Taz Lang, was shot and killed outside her home in Philadelphia. Lang was the manager and former girlfriend of R&B singer Teddy Pendergrass, and she was the one who had given him the money and the push to start his solo career, the same way JB did for T. She had a contract with Pendergrass that gave her a significant share of control over his money and his music, and she had been helping build his name from scratch. Then, on April 14, 1977, she came back home from New York where she had just finished setting up his first solo tour, and somebody shot her from about 15 feet away while she was walking up to her own front door. She died that same night. The case was never solved. For decades, people whispered that Pendergrass wanted out of the management contract and had her removed so he wouldn't have to deal with her financially anymore. Her family later took him to court over unpaid money she was owed. Pendergrass said he had nothing to do with her death until the day he died in 2010, and almost 50 years later, her murder is still officially unsolved. The similarities between her case and JB's are hard to ignore. In both situations, you have a woman who built a male artist's career from the ground up, who was deeply connected to him both professionally and personally, and who ended up dead under circumstances nobody has ever fully explained, with rumors swirling around the very person she helped make famous. The difference is that in Teddy Pendergrass's case, nobody was ever charged. In Tee Grizzley's case, there was a man charged and put on trial, and the evidence against him was real and specific enough to go all the way to a jury. The jury just couldn't all agree. Whether Tee Grizzley had anything to do with that night or not, he's the one living with the fact that she stayed in that car because she didn't want to go sit on somebody else's furniture. Do you think Tee Grizzley knows more than he's letting on?
Hey. Alright, so this is how I feel. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if he did or he didn't. I don't know. But in my head, the only way that shit could have played out is if he went to an area where he know he had problems with niggas. I'm saying that's why he was like, all right, look, you want to come inside? But even if you knew you had problems with niggas, you need to let that be known. Feel me? I feel like it had to go down like that. Like, you in a neighborhood, you really know niggas ain't fucking with you. But you got that one homeboy in the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? You going to pick up whatever tree game, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you popping up to do. She probably didn't want to go in there because of that either. But you knew where you was. Might have not been the place for y'all to be. But ain't nobody tell her, because maybe y'all thinking, well, she a female, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to her. Man, but your worst enemy will get the person closest to you just to get to you. So I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, though. I'm saying, like, how y'all feel about this, man? Like, is we gonna bucket or love it? And I'm gonna be right back.